Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously thrilling guided tour through the VAA Character Strengths. This is an incredible framework drawn directly from Thomas Alethia's 12 Steps to a Good Life. We're going to take a close look at this alternative values assessment, which uses 24 specific character strengths, things like bravery, perspective, and zest, clustered around 6 core virtues. It essentially provides us with a genuinely scientific nomenclature for human potential.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap. We'll start with the Good Life Compass, move to the science of human potential, and then explore 3 core virtue groupings: wisdom and courage, humanity and justice, and finally, temperance and transcendence.
All right, Section 1, the Good Life Compass, navigating your true self.
Look, we all want a good life, right? But getting there means we actually have to stop relying on magical thinking and really look inward. Seriously ask yourself, do you actually know what your core values are? Or have you maybe just been adopting the expectations of everyone around you? The source material emphasizes that your core values are literally the compass you need to navigate through life. Without a solid grasp of what's important to you, it is way too easy to lose your way and get trapped in a lifestyle that just doesn't make you happy.
And this brings us to a massive paradigm shift. Traditional self-help often has us obsessing over fixing our character defects and flaws, which honestly can feel totally exhausting and demoralizing. But the VIA framework flips that script. It's a totally different approach that focuses on the empowering act of identifying and building upon your natural strengths. It's the idea that every single person has every strength in some measure, but we each have key strengths that are just waiting to be developed.
Section 2, the science of human potential, the periodic table of character.
To truly navigate our strengths, we need a reliable map. Enter a completely unprecedented research project. Just wrap your head around the sheer gravity of this for a second. 55 distinguished social scientists spent 3 years analyzing everything from Aristotle and Plato to major world religions, spanning 2,500 years of human history. Their goal was to distill all of that philosophical and spiritual thought into a single, unified, scientifically backed language of character. It is an absolutely monumental effort. The result of that massive study? Exactly 24 specific character strengths, categorized beautifully under 6 overarching virtues. As we'll see, these 24 traits act essentially as a periodic table of the human soul. Let's break them down.
Section 3, Wisdom and Courage, the inner virtues.
These inner virtues represent the ways we engage our minds and deploy our personal bravery. We begin with wisdom and knowledge. Now, wisdom isn't just about knowing random facts. It is the cognitive engine we use to creatively acquire and, more importantly, effectively apply knowledge to actually live a genuinely good life. It's all about how we conceptualize the world around us.
So as we look at these specific strengths, playfully ask yourself, do you naturally thrive on curiosity and creativity? Are you always thinking of novel ways to do things? Or maybe you're the one everyone constantly turns to for open-minded perspective and wise counsel. You might even have a deep love of learning, systematically mastering new skills just for the joy of it. These are all vital components of the wisdom virtue.
Following wisdom is courage. These are the emotional strengths that exercise your will. We're talking about the sheer willpower required to push through your own internal doubts and external obstacles to actually reach your goals. It is the vital fuel of action. The really crucial point here is that courage isn't just physical bravery, like not shrinking from a threat. It's also the quiet, gritty persistence to finish a difficult task in spite of obstacles. It's the integrity to speak the unvarnished truth and be without pretense. And maybe surprisingly, it includes vitality, approaching life with zest, energy, and excitement. It's about turning your daily life into a courageous adventure.
Moving on to Section 4, humanity and justice, the social virtues.
Stepping out of our own internal landscape for a minute, these social virtues govern how we connect with, care for, and lead other people. First up is humanity. Humanity is that profound interpersonal virtue that binds us together. It forms the absolute bedrock of reciprocal caring, befriending others, and deep social connection.
Think about it, whether it's demonstrating deep social intelligence, knowing what makes other people tick and navigating tricky situations smoothly, or just doing a simple act of kindness, compassion, and generosity, these traits are how we actively make the world a better place. It also highlights love, specifically valuing those relationships where sharing and caring are warmly reciprocated.
Building right on top of humanity is justice. Justice takes those interpersonal connections and scales them up to the macro, community level. These are the civic strengths that ensure fairness and keep groups functioning healthily.
If you excel at unifying a team through unwavering loyalty and citizenship, or if you consistently demonstrate fairness by refusing to let personal bias cloud your judgment, well, these civic strengths are absolutely your superpower. It also includes leadership, the ability to get things done by organizing activities, all while maintaining good, healthy relations within the group.
All right, Section 5. Temperance and transcendence, the grounding virtues.
These grounding virtues are fascinating because they protect us from our worst impulses on one hand and connect us to the grand scale of the universe on the other. Temperance acts as your psychological braking system. It is the vital, protective virtue that keeps ego, anger, and excess entirely in check. It's all about self-management.
Does this sound like someone you know? They graciously forgive past wrongs and offer second chances. They possess true humility, never seeking the spotlight or acting like they're more special than anyone else. They're prudent, making careful choices to avoid crazy risks, and they perfectly self-regulate their emotions, even under extreme pressure. Those traits represent an immense amount of internal strength.
Finally, we reach transcendence. This is the magnificent virtue that lifts our gaze way above the daily grind to find profound meaning, awe, and universal connection. It answers the deeper why of our existence.
Whether you find that meaning through spirituality and coherent beliefs about a higher purpose, or simply through a deep appreciation for the beauty and excellence in art or nature, these traits link you to something much greater than yourself. Transcendence also heavily features gratitude, hope for a good future, and even humor. Yes, playfully finding connection by bringing smiles to others and seeing the lighter side of life is a delightful, surprising twist in this framework that actually links you to something truly profound.
So how do we turn this framework from an interesting theory into a tangibly good life? You have to take action. The source text gives us a straightforward method. First, read and review this periodic table of character closely. Second, reflect honestly and identify the strengths that resonate with your authentic self. And third, act. Choose your top 3 priorities, what the author calls your first 3 things, and translate them into practical activities you can actively apply every single day.
The author reminds us of something powerful. The ultimate meaning of life is to give life meaning. Working daily on your top 3 priorities gives you a sense of forward momentum and builds the good habits needed for a fulfilling life. So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. Looking at that massive map of human potential, which of these 24 strengths are you going to awaken and consciously cultivate today?